You can't give away the love you don't already have for yourself.
He can't love you if you don't love you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you are.
Hey everyone, what's up? It's Kelsey and I'm back with another video. Today I am with an incredible woman and author. Her name is Sariah Wilson and we have an awesome chat for you today. She is an expert in all things love and romance and dating. She writes a lot of amazing books for young adults and teen girls and they're all primarily about like love and romance. This is gonna be good. She has a brand new book that just came out. It's called Moonstruck and I had the pleasure of playing the main character in a music video.
If you just give me one more night just to be with you. Loving everything about her, from her stare to fingertips. It's how she dances when she thinks no one sees. It's the way her touch knocks me down to my knees.
That's why we're chatting today about love and relationships and romance and all the things that I know you're dying to know about.
the love and the romance is my favorite part of any story.
Yep.
Read stuff and I'm like, where's the relationship? That's the best part. I love to write books that make people happy. I love one that makes you feel like they just escaped for a couple of hours. I want to give that to people. I love romance. I love love.
Let's just talk like briefly about the story of Moonstruck. This little video that I got the chance to be in is this incredible story that she wrote.
Moonstruck is about the world's biggest pop star and he gets to meet a girl who is not impressed by him. She thinks his music sucks. She's much more indie than him. He sees her doing a cover of his song One More Night. It's the most popular song. Makes him interested and he goes and sees her and her brothers who have their own band. They perform and he invites her to come on tour with him. And they spend a lot of time alone together and then he says, well, will you be my girlfriend? Because he's trying to change his image. And that leads to romantic comedy and all kinds of fun stuff.
So since you were the master of all things love and relationship and dating, what advice would you have for like teen girls who are just trying to navigate this whole like love and relationship world?
You are not going to believe me. I wouldn't have believed me when I was your age. Just relax. Just be yourself. Find out who you are. Be confident in yourself. And if you don't feel confident, because I remember, I know how insecure you feel. I know how hard it is. Pretend. Seriously. Just fake it until you become this person who is full of confidence and who is confident because I'm still insecure even now.
Right.
I think of these boys that I had crushes on in high school. I don't think I even really wanted to date them. I think it was just kind of like a boy to like.
Right.
My friends all like boys. And I don't think I was really ready to date seriously until I got into college. So I almost feel like don't rush into it. You don't have to be serious about a guy when you're still in high school. Guys that sometimes I think you cry over are not worth your tears.
So true. So true.
I know that from experience. It's gonna come. You're gonna date. You know, you're not gonna be sitting in your bedroom for your, room forever. You will find boys. And the men that you find someday, they will appreciate you for you, and that is what you want. You don't want to be a version of yourself that you think a boy will like. You want to be you, and you want a man who will love you for who that is.
I remember when I was younger thinking, oh, this boy likes this type of girl, or he's interested in this, so that means I need to be that. And when you get older, you realize that you're like, that's ridiculous. Can't put on a front forever, it's exhausting. If he doesn't like you for who you are, then it's not worth your time to be with him. There's this one boy that I was pursuing for a long time, and he just wasn't really super reciprocating. It was kind of like on and off. And my friend just looked at me and she's like, Kelsey, that is not how it's supposed to be. Like, he should be as equally into you as you are into him, and you shouldn't have to convince him to want to see you or to spend time with you. Dating is hard though. It's emotional, it's taxing. It's not always as perfect as it is in the movies or in the books or whatever. You know, there's good times and there's hard times. What kind of advice would you have for them as far as like how to get through tricky times with like boys that you like or relationships?
I think I rely a lot on the friends that I have. I'm guilty of this too, right? My books are selling a fantasy. It's nice and fun and, and the problems are not huge and insurmountable and you can get over them. Maybe sometimes when you see that in TV shows and stuff, it seems real. People are people. You're gonna make mistakes and you're gonna have really hard times. And there's gonna be stuff that's out of your control, stuff that happens to you that you didn't deserve. If you're in a relationship, you really rely on that other person. If you're just kind of starting out, that's a really great time to have friends. It's nice to have someone to kind of have a shoulder to cry on. Be that person too for your friends.
I know I've needed a good friend to cry on when it comes to dating like many times. Yeah. How do you get a boy's attention?
As a romance author,
yes.
I would tell you there's a couple ways. I mean, my heroines in these books, there's been a couple different things where like it's been treating them like normal people, not fawning all over them. What happens when you're the one who ignores them? It's kind of a game. I don't know. I shouldn't be like advocating that, but
no, it is though.
If you're gushing over a guy who everybody gushes over, you're one in a million. My book, my female characters are the ones who don't gush and are like, I don't care about you. It gets your attention. Why don't you love me? Why aren't you falling at my feet? I do find that to be effective. Be yourself. Be confident. People know when you're confident. confident, they are attracted to it, and they notice it. Like I said, if you're not really confident, pretend and just say, I am confident today. Yeah. Today I believe in me. Today I am going to conquer the world. Be confident in what you have and go out and say and own it.
Sometimes we're not confident, right? Like sometimes we do have days where we wake up and we're like, wow, I really wish I was feeling confident today, but it's just not there. My mom always told me, like, fake it till you make it. Pretend until it's true. Obviously you don't want to like go about life being a liar, but that's an honorable thing to want to become. It's okay to pretend for a little while until it is true.
I think for some of these girls, it's going to be harder for them, and you don't know why, because it was for me in high school, and I was like, why is this so much harder for me, flirting with boys and getting their attention?
Oh my gosh.
And I think part of the reason I am an introvert. I am someone who would much rather be alone. I didn't know that about myself until I was out of college. I always thought, why is it so hard for me? Everybody else, they love being around people, they're bubbly, they're vivacious. Why am I not like that? And once I understood that about myself, it made a huge difference in my life. This is your test. If you go to a party and afterwards you're super charged, like, yeah, that was so awesome, I had so much fun, it was great, you are an extrovert. If you go to a party and it's like soul-sucking and draining and you're like, oh, you're an introvert. You're someone who social interaction depletes you and you have to be alone to kind of recharge. It was something I wish I'd known when I was like a teenager, that was my personality. That's why it was so much harder for me.
I'm more of an extrovert now that I'm older. Maybe I'm just more confident now that I'm older. But when I was younger, the same thing. It was really hard for me. All of my other friends were so flirtatious and so fun, and all the boys liked them. And I was always like, why can't I like get out of my shell? It's really hard for me to like to find boys that I could like not be really shy and nervous around. On that note, like, what are some tips for girls who may be kind of more of introverts and shy? Like, how would you suggest that they kind of break out of their shell and test the waters a little bit?
I forced myself to do things that were not easy for me. It really is with getting out of your comfort zone. One of the things in college that I would do is I would host hot chocolate parties at our house. I would invite all the boys over and other girls, and I hosted them. It was not easy for me, but it was good for me to force myself. Like I would say, okay, I'm not staying home on Friday night. I thought I'm going to force myself to be social. And so I didn't do it all the time, but I did do these things that were out of my comfort zone. Maybe take a look at that quieter guy in the corner who understands how you feel. It works either way, I think. You know, the two introverts really connect, or you might get an extrovert guy who kind of fills in those gaps for you.
I love what you said about like pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, because that's the key, is it's not gonna be easy. Like, it's scary.
It is scary, and it should be scary, and that's okay. And it's okay to be nervous, and it's okay to kind of have things freak you out. Nobody ever told me that. All my friends were like, oh yeah, you just dated, it's no big deal. And I'm like, well, it's a big deal for me.
When you're like nervous about impressing him, like, does he think I'm cool, or like, am I gonna do or say something stupid? Like,
that's going to happen. It happens to me even now. Like, you think you're an adult, no, it still happens.
Still imperfect, we're still human.
Still making dumb mistakes and saying dumb things.
I think it's like helpful, because then you know that you're looking for a guy that's not gonna like care about that kind of stuff,
right?
Because we're all human. So I feel like another really important element of like a good relationship is communicating, like good communication. What are some of your communication tips for girls who are trying to communicate with boys, trying to get to know them? I don't know. Boys are hard to communicate with.
Boys are dumb. Boys are hard to communicate with because they are dumb, especially teenage boys. I have one. Let me tell you. You know, people are like, what is he thinking? He's thinking nothing.
That's so true.
There's no deeper meaning. They're so basic and simple. That's where you don't want to play games, because he does not know what you're thinking. And even if you act mad, he's gonna be like, why is she mad? Like, he doesn't get it. You have to tell him. So I think communication just needs to be really straightforward and honest, you know, and that's scary too, because there's things you don't want to say, or things that are embarrassing, or things that are hard for you. You have to sometimes, you know, that's the only way for the relationship to move forward. You see that in like my books, is that intimacy comes from communication, comes from sharing things. Our world would have us think, oh, it's all about physical. It's about getting physical, that's what makes you intimate, and that's completely false. The physical intimacy can actually hide problems in your relationship and your communication.
Absolutely.
That part's going really well, so you don't look at, you know, over here.
So
communication is probably the most important thing, and revealing things about yourself, and someone that you trust. You feel like you can tell things to. That's where relationships about.
Oh, that's so good. I hope you like rewind that, watch it again, journal it, write it down, like make notes, because that is so true. I feel like any problems I had with relationships or dating all came from lack of communication. As a teenager, I remember spending like so much time overanalyzing every single text and everything that he said and everything that I said and everything that we did and everything that we didn't do. There must be some hidden meaning behind all of this. Then as I've gotten older, I've realized you're so right. It's nothing. Boys say what they're thinking, and that's about it.
And if they don't like you,
they
don't like you. That's a guy you don't want to be with. Move on. And I know that's hard. I know it is. I know when you have a crush on someone, you don't want to really move from that point. Believe them. When they say stuff, believe them.
Or when somebody shows you how they feel, believe it.
Yeah.
Whether that is not texting you or not making plans with you or texting you and making plans with you. When somebody shows you how they feel, just believe it and trust them. As far as like the communication thing and game playing, I do think there's like an element of what we were talking about earlier, which is like not being too aggressive or too forward or too like pushy with yourself and your time. They do feel like they need to have a chase a little bit. They need to work for you. If you're too easy and too available, then they lose interest. But I feel like that's the only element of game playing that needs to happen.
I totally agree with you. And I think it's just in the very beginning. It is true that men do like to chase things they feel like they can't have.
Yep, sorry ladies.
I do think there's that element where he feels like he has to chase you. It makes him interested. It's probably very retro and you're like, well, I don't want a guy like that. Most guys are like that, I'm sorry to tell you. That they do want something where they have to make an effort. And you talk to men, they're like, oh no, I want a girl to ask me out. Because it's easy. So it's easier for them to be asked out. And they're like, oh yeah, I prefer that. It's a lie. Like they don't end up with those women, you know?
No.
Like they want a woman that they have to chase after. You need to be quality. You need to be someone that's worth his time and his chase. Work on yourself. I mean, I think as a teen girl, that is the time to do it. What do you like? What do you not like? What's important to you? What are your talents? What are your hobbies? Yeah, if you're gonna date, go out to dances, have fun, but focus on yourself. You know, if you think about what's your perfect guy. Oh, he's tall, he's handsome, he's smart, he's funny. You got this huge list of, you know, all the things that he has to be.
Right.
Well, are you that girl? Are you the girl that guy would be interested in? I had a youth leader say that to me when I was a teen, and I'm like, that's true. Like, how do you expect to have someone like that unless you're like that?
When he meets you, you want him to think, oh, this is the girl that I've been looking for that has all of that list of the things as well. So yeah, you can't expect to have somebody without being somebody. You can't give away the love you don't already have for yourself.
He can't love you if you don't love you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you have to believe that you're lovable. Teenage years are so rife with insecurity. You don't love yourself and you don't even like yourself sometimes. This is a time to develop that relationship with you and realize you are an amazing person. You are incredible and so unique and so individual, and the world is lucky to have you. Become that woman. There'll be a guy who's like, oh my gosh, I have to be with her. She's phenomenal. You want to be that person that he feels honored that you're making room in your life for him.
Exactly.
You know, that's the kind of guy you want.
I couldn't agree more. And that comes from that confidence and that knowing who you are. We're not saying that that's an easy thing to have right off the bat. I didn't have it as a teenager.
I didn't either.
But
we didn't do it, but you have to do it.
But you do it. We didn't necessarily have somebody giving us this advice either. So that's why I hope this can help. For a long time, I also kind of hoped that when I had somebody, then I would feel worthwhile. Oh, well, he sees me as valuable, therefore I am valuable. That is like a completely wrong way to look at it. Whether or not a boy likes you or gives you attention has nothing to do with your value or your worth. And it's not dependent on each other.
I think sometimes we think having a relationship is going to fill some kind of void in us if we have one. And it's not. And it may cover it up a little bit, you know, and you may feel slightly better. But if there's something deep inside you that you feel like is missing somehow, a relationship is not going to fix it. We want it to, and romantic comedies tell us that it will, and it won't. I often have that with my heroines in my stories, that they kind of have to work on themselves first before they can be in this relationship. There's things they have to fix.
You have to understand how to communicate well, how to be who you are, how to be whole as a person, so that when you bring in this other person, you're both two wholes, and you communicate with each other, and you work out the differences, and you work out the problems together, but neither one of you is like fractured and expecting the other one to fill in that hole.
Which is probably why you'll have lots of relationships too, because you'll be figuring that out.
Yeah.
You know, you're looking for that other whole person instead of trying to fill in cracks and stuff.
Right. So good. Such good advice. I told you, she's a love genius, a love guru. After 10 romance novels, she knows her stuff, guys. She knows her stuff. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I would love for you to go check out her brand new book, Moonstruck. Where's the best place to find it?
Amazon.
Amazon.
So you can get a digital copy there or a paperback there. It's the best place to find it.
Yeah, and isn't the Kindle version just like $5?
It's like $3 or $4.
Anybody can afford that. Seriously, go check it out. And if you want to go see the music video that I had the pleasure of acting in, actually there's 2 music videos. The links to those are going to be below. If you do go check out the book, leave me a comment because I want to know who's reading the book. And if you found this video helpful, if you like the dating advice, the tips, please also let me know in a comment because I think it was helpful. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment, you know, all the things. And I'll be back real soon with another video. Thanks. See ya!